This week on the Stampede, a look at the Mustangs' last line of defense. One player's heroic struggle leads to victory off the field.
You know, it hurt me because I let down a lot of people. My family was disappointed, you know. The coaching staff was disappointed also.
And a streaking SMU team collides with Southern Miss. The SMU Mustangs are on a roll. Last week, they topped conference rival University of Central Florida in a game that found both the offense and defense clicking.
We knew UCF was going to be a big game.
As a whole, I think we did a pretty good job of containing them.
The attitude was a lot more business-like going into that game.
We mixed it up a little bit last week. We didn't just pound the ball in the red zone.
We won, so I think we contained them pretty well.
We kind of let them hang around there in the first half.
We had opportunities to throw the ball too,
and did a good job closing them out.
It wasn't as close as a lot of people thought it was going to be, which is good because that's what we expected.
We took advantages of areas that they gave us.
The kids went about their business last week.
It's over. It's over, Will.
Facing a top-rated defense, quarterback J.J. McDermott threw for 358 yards and 2 TDs. The performance earned him CUSA Offensive Player of the Week and the Rivals.com CUSA Player of the Week honors.
Calm, cool, and collected. That's the best way that I could describe JJ.
He's a big, strong kid. He throws the ball and knows where he wants to go.
He's calm. He'll get hit. He'll be fine. He won't freak out. He does the same thing over and over. He's perfect for us.
Zach Line's 2 touchdowns tied him for 4th place in the country in scoring.
Out of the shotgun is J.J. McDermott, and a handoff. Zach Line going right to the 10, turns the corner at the 5, dives over a man into the end zone. Touchdown SMU!
And Cole Beasley returned in a big way, leading the team with 134 yards in 10 catches and a touchdown.
J.J., long count, takes a snap, quick throw right side, caught on that route, Cole Beasley, touchdown SMU!
The defense continued to smother opponents with their intensity and speed, taking the big play away from the Knights and sacking their quarterback, Jeff Godfrey, 3 times.
Finish and get that quarterback down!
But special teams was a big part of last week's victory and showed a team coming together in all 3 phases of the game.
You got to win in all 3 phases of the game, like offense, defense, and special teams. So you can definitely win and lose games on special teams. So that's great that we had great returns by Richard Crawford this past game.
Special teams is another way to get 15, 20 snaps, and I don't believe that a starter on defense should be shielded from special teams. I don't buy into that. We got to do what we got to do to win the football game.
We stress having 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams. And we got probably the best special teams coach in the country working with us. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be making plays. He's putting us in the positions to do it.
Greg McCoy will take it 2 yards deep in his end zone, runs it out up the right hash. Coming left, jumps the ball out. SMU, Jay Scott, touchdown, SMU on a fumble recovery to open the second half. He will catch this one on the bounce at his own 10, breaks a tackle going left at the 15. He breaks another tackle to the 20, to the 25, 30. He's into the open field, and he is gone. There's nothing but red jerseys around him. Richard Crawford to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, SMU!
Very large play.
27-yard field goal try for Chase Hover. Snap is down, kick on the way, and it is good. And Hover's a perfect 5 for 5 on the year. Let's go with a 33-yarder again here for Dakota Warren. And it's blocked by Marcus Hunt. Ball free, and SMU's going to pick it up on the far side at the 15.
And that's the way special teams guru Frank Gans designed it.
I think the one thing that we all do here is we speak a common language. And it's not just me, but it's all the coaches. And Coach Jones, it starts with Coach Jones, emphasizing the special teams. Every coach on our staff knows what we're doing, knows what we want to do, so they talk to their players on an individual basis, and it makes my job a lot easier when everybody's speaking the same language.
Everything that Frank believes in, I believe in, our staff believes in,
And those things carry over to every play of the game, not just special teams.
This is a team where starters play an important role on special teams.
So you want as good a people as you can executing, particularly when you have someone like Coach Gans who is going to put them in the right place and going to get them in the right place. Then you want the best people when they get there to operate effectively.
Not only do contributions from starters help change games and put W's on the board, but it's vital for success beyond the college ranks.
If you're going to play professional football, you're going to have to play on special teams. You got 53 guys on the regular roster, 45, 46 guys made dress. You're not going to play in the National Football League if you can't contribute somehow on special teams. There's no doubt about it. You have to be a contributor on special teams regardless. I mean, you look at, Zach Lyon's a perfect example of it. He'll go out there and rush for 120 yards, go down and make a tackle on a kickoff team, strip the ball out for a touchdown, and he's the first guy down there. That's the type of guy that's going to play in the National Football League right there.
Back on the practice field, SMU coaches and players' focus turns to this week's opponent, another tough conference rival, Southern Miss.
They have some team speed that we probably haven't faced yet, and they're very good athletes.
They do the hurry-up offense, so we got to definitely be ready for that. A lot of look over in their offense.
I think we need to stay balanced. Need to hit guys when they give us, the opportunity, take what they give us.
It's probably the best defense we played. I'd say they're even better than A&M.
It's the middle of a long season, and nothing is given away in college football. This game will be yet another battle for this hungry team.
It's going to be loud. We're going to have to be focused in. It's going to be a hostile environment, and we just got to be ready to play.
They're a great football team. They got a lot of talent, and it'll really give us a good indicator of where we're at on the national level.
Fans have the time of their life in the stands at Ford Stadium. There's nothing like watching a team of focused, perfectly conditioned athletes make the big plays and take home the victory. But people can forget that the athletes making their Saturday afternoons and nights so enjoyable are also full-time students.
It's crazy. Most people don't know, man, that, we're not just playing football around here. We're not just playing our sport. We also got to get the grades and not just go to class, actually get good grades in these classes, man. People are, getting into their majors. People are, like I said, got midterms this week. I also have to worry about a great Southern Miss team, who only lost one game. So it's crazy how we got to balance school, our regular everyday life and football. So it's crazy.
You got to stay on top of what you're doing. You just got to manage your time. That's all that it took for me to learn my freshman year. Was coming in here, trying to be good at football and not trying to be good in the classroom won't get you anywhere because you won't be playing football if you're not going to get by over there. So, this is all part of growing up.
A lot of times in the locker room, we say, everybody sees what goes down on Saturdays, but they don't see what happens Sunday through Friday.
In the case of the SMU Mustangs, these players are students at one of the top academic schools in the country. Coach June Jones understands this. He is a players' coach whose mission it is to develop his players into successful men on the field and off. And this means success in the classroom. That's why SMU created the Center for the Development of Student Athletes to help players through the academic challenges of a busy football season. Students are given all the help they need to grow and succeed academically.
With the tutoring resources, with our, life skills and note-taking skills and study skills that we can pass on, and just keeping up with them and teaching them how to be good students, how to stay on top of their assignments, how to get their reading done, we can help them with that. Students can succeed here. They definitely can. Terrence Wilkerson is enjoying a highlight season. His 19 catches for 339 yards include a number of huge game highlights, including a 71-yard touchdown catch against TCU.
Down the near side, and Terrence Wilkerson has everybody beat at the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, SMU! Get you some of that.
But this was a season that almost wasn't for Terrence.
This last season, I did not play because I had some, issues with my academics. I had to complete 27 hours and, get nothing less than a B, as far as my overall GPA was concerned.
Terrence came in, him and I met last spring, and he was coming in to kind of do the impossible, get his GPA up to become eligible for the upcoming fall season. And we just kind of talked and we said, we got one chance at this. We're gonna give everything we got. I'm in here with you. And that's where we started.
There are people here that are very willing to help, that know how to help. They're very professional in that regard. But it took Terrence also his own perseverance and his own will to say, I'm going to do this. As he started it, there were several that weren't sure he was going to be able to do this. And he proved them wrong, and I'm very glad for that.
As soon as these kids get off the field for practice, they grab breakfast. They may be directly in study hall. They may be working on homework that's due the next day right away. So it transitions very quickly back into the academic side. And then they spend the majority of their day in academics and class, back in study hall, may go to meetings. Right after meetings, they're back in study hall again, or they're down with a tutor. And so I don't think people realize how many hours a day they are working on classes. It's almost more than football.
It says a lot about SMU. It says a lot about their commitment to student athletes as a whole and them succeeding and graduating.
Terrence had his mind made up to improve his grades and get back to the game he loves.
It hurt me because I let down a lot of people. My family was disappointed, The coaching staff was disappointed also. That past season was really supposed to be my breakout year, I guess, And, I let down so many people, including myself.
After a long spring and summer, Terrence turned around his grades and was finally eligible to play football again.
I said, Terrence, close the door. We're going to pray. And we prayed about, just the exam and things like that. And, once he got the score, we celebrated. So it came down to the wire, but he made it.
And after delivering the grades in the classroom, Terrence found himself back on the gridiron, delivering catches on the field.
I think he's bound and determined to walk out of here with that piece of paper. I think it says a lot about the abilities that this university has to help kids, but I think it also says a lot about Terrence, that he made that decision, that he was going to make sure he got that thing done. And
Terrence is only one of the academic success stories from June Jones' football program.
He brought his GPA up, he passed all of those credits, he's on track for graduating, and his attitude has just changed. And that's a lot of what we do. We reached out to him, he's in there all the time, he has a great relationship with Ron, he has a great relationship with Ron through his church also. They connected on that level, and so he would say that Ron has taught him how to be a man, I would say.
I just thank God I'm back out there now, and I'm blessed.
This week, a special look at defensive backs. DBs are literally the last line of defense on a football team. The safeties and corners have an incredibly important job to stand between opposing offenses and the goal line they so desperately seek and shut them down.
Being a DB in this conference is not an easy task. You're probably going to face the top 3 out of 5 teams in the country in passing offense. You're going to face probably the top 2 quarterbacks in the country. Statistics-wise, you just got to play it as it is. Don't worry about how many yards. And those kids, they play really well together and in a tough situation because everybody in our conference is going to throw the football.
The Mustangs are built around a solid starting core of defensive backs this year. Each bring their own talents and personality to the team. Leading the pack is senior Chris Banjo at safety. Chris is the Ponies' enforcer, punishing any and all opposing players who dare to cross his side of the field. Complementing him on the weak side is another solid hitter, junior playmaker Ryan Smith from Houston, who leads the DBs in tackles. And manning the corners are All-Conference USA junior Richard Crawford from Oceanside, California, who has shut down opposing receivers with 6 pass deflections this season. And Kenneth Acker, an up-and-coming sophomore from Portland, Oregon.
I think we have a great bunch. You know, we go out there, we work hard, we fly around, and we just have fun at the end of the day. And I think it shows on the field. And we trust each other, and we go out there and just have fun and just try and let it all hang out.
Well, Kenneth Acker is one of our corners. You know, what's neat about Kenneth is that he's got some height. He's longer. You know, he's a 6'2" type of corner, and that really helps because all these receivers we play are real tall guys. And so, you know, we're able to match up a little better with a taller guy out there. Chris Banjo's just a rock back there. He understands the defense in and out. Great team leader, does all the little things right, plays hard. He's a tremendous leader.
Let's go!
Ryan Smith in that same mold. Really works hard, you know, a student of the game, real easy to coach. He's a yes sir, no sir kind of guy. Richard Crawford, our corner on the other side, he's greatly improved as well. Done a nice job of really honing in on details of his coverage and techniques. And I think that's really going to help him, and hopefully he'll get a chance to play at the next level.
Working the outside takes special skills and a special type of personality.
With DB, I think you gotta have a certain swag and aggression about yourself. Most of the time, you're not one-on-one in our system, but in the end, it ends up you versus this guy. So really just a saying that, hey, I'm not gonna let this guy catch the ball. It's just an attitude that you have to have that I'm better than these guys.
A barometer of success for DBs can be found in the running game. SMU is 12th in the nation against the run. Just last week, they held University of Central Florida to only 110 rushing yards. And a lot of that credit goes to the speed and aggressiveness of the defensive backs.
We hold UCF to 110 yards rushing, and a lot of that was to the 2 safeties. They came down and hit their run fits, and those plays stick out.
Another measure of success for safeties and corners is how well they can stop a team on 3rd down. SMU has improved this year on 3rd down, with teams only converting 30% of the time, a 13% improvement from last year.
They ran a whip, 3 ran a whip, and then I saw 2 come in, so I stayed with 2 coming in.
The ringleader of SMU's defensive backs is Coach Derek Odom.
You know, I'm kind of with June on his philosophy as well. You know, I don't get real high or low. You know, I try to be the same throughout. And so they have something, you know, my players can really, you know, feed off me as well. You know, I'm not going to get too emotional about things, but I'm not going to, you know, jump down their throats. You know, I'm going to talk to them like a man, treat them like a professional, and they seem to respond to that.
Oh, I mean, he understands everything that's going to happen on the field. He knows all the routes. He understands all the situations, so he's real understanding with everything. So he takes that into account. That's just a big thing when your coach plays your position. He understands everything, and he can coach it better for you.
And as with almost every aspect of football, working together well is a must for success.
As a safety, you have to be able to cover and come downhill and get involved in the run game. So we definitely have to do that, and I think me and Banjo do a good job. Just, you know, listen to our coaches, trusting our reads, and then they put us in the right spots to make the right plays.
We have a close-knit group, and we're always backing each other. Whenever there's an argument, if somebody says anything about a DB, everybody's there. So within the defense, everybody comes together, but the DBs, we're our own group.
Game night has arrived. The SMU Mustangs enter their battle against Southern Miss amidst a carnival atmosphere in Hattiesburg. It's homecoming, and the Golden Eagle faithful are out in force. SMU is facing a well-rested Southern Miss team that has won 4 in a row and is coming off a bye week. Before the game, Coach Jones puts the game in perspective.
Guys, the way we're going to win this game is do what we're supposed to do. Take care of the football and take the football away. We have to take over the energy in the game, the crowd, everybody, by winning the turnover battle and having more explosive plays.
After SMU goes 3 and out to start the game, the Golden Eagles begin their assault with an up-tempo, no-huddle style offense. SMU's defense, led by Chris Banjo and Taylor Reed, are able to hold them to just a field goal. The Mustangs would stall again on offense, giving the ball back to Southern Miss, who quickly drove down the field for the game's first touchdown. Faced with another Golden Eagle drive deep in SMU territory, the Mustangs need a momentum-changing play.
Davis has time, passes left side, intercepted! Jagger Davis at the 10, running right to the 15. He is spun down at the 14-yard line.
Down 10-0 early, SMU needs to put a drive together. They call on number 11, Cole Beasley.
JJ slides right, throws that way, caught Beasley at the 45, cuts left 40 to the 30. He's in a foot race.
But they come up short and must settle for a field goal.
And Holber's kick is good. SMU on the scoreboard with 7:59 to play in the second quarter.
The teams leave the field at halftime with a score 10-3.
There's nothing they have done that is different than up front than what we have worked on all week. So the only thing we got to do, we got to raise the challenge now. I'm going to call the game with the runs and mix it up the same way, but we got to get the ball down the field on these guys too, okay?
Unfortunately, the second half fares less well than the first half for the Mustangs. The offense, which has outscored opponents by almost 40% this season, can't engineer another scoring drive the rest of the game. While SMU's defense held Southern Miss to just 13 points in the first 3 quarters, the Golden Eagles proved to be too much this Saturday, scoring 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and taking the victory 27-3.
This was a good learning session for us, in terms of knowing what to do in the future, how to handle it in the future, just sticking together as a family.
Yeah, I got to give it to them. They played hard, and it's hard to beat this team here. That's a good football team.
We had chances, we just didn't catch the ball or throw the ball the way we needed to throw it right there. But hopefully we'll do better next week.
It was a tough loss to a very good team. In football, as in many other things in life, you're judged by how you respond to adversity. For SMU, that response will be next Saturday night in Tulsa, when the Mustangs take on the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes in a crucial conference battle.